Welcome to the Know Before You Go Travel Show, where we share all the latest travel tips, tricks, and insights to make your next vacation the best one yet. So sit back, relax, grab a cocktail, and enjoy the show with Penyak Travel's George Penyak and our senior travel consultant, Janet Penyak.
What's up, everyone?
Hey, everyone.
We are back for your weekly dose of travel knowledge.
Penyak Travel, Know Before You Go Travel Show knowledge.
Yeah, and this might be a shorter episode because we had something that came up with a client recently, or a soon-to-be client, and I think this item this is a very confusing topic in the airfare world.
Right, that's come about over the last year or two. So.
Yeah, and we're here to break it down for you, but everyone is confused.
Yes.
About basic economy.
Yes, basic economy.
So, yeah, let us drop some travel knowledge on you, because so many people, we get calls for trying to help people out through this after they've already booked without us. And we're like, gosh, you're kind of, you're in a tough spot. But explain really, let's start off with what is basic economy. Go ahead and explain that.
Well, so a couple of years ago, I think it's actually been about 2 years now, I think United was the first one to come out with it, and then American and Delta followed. But they came out with kind of like a no-frills fare, and it's called basic economy. And there are some restrictions with that, and so I do not ever price any package with it, because among all the airlines, the standard is you do not get to select your seat
if you're on basic economy. So it's not like regular economy,
right? So
there's regular economy and standard economy, right? And
main cabin economy.
Then there's your basic economy.
Your basic economy.
The basic economy rate is cheaper.
It's cheaper, and it's usually only about $60 or less cheaper, unless if it's an international flight, it might be $100 to $110 less than the main cabin economy.
But why is it cheaper? High level. Why is it cheaper?
Yeah, so you do not get to select your seat, and all of the basic economy seats are middle seats that they save. And I didn't know that until actually one of the gate agents at the airport told me that.
Because a lot of people don't select them, and so they use the cheaper fare to fill those seats.
Yeah, the middle
seats.
It's
a filler, because no one really wants it.
Right, and so if you're traveling by yourself and maybe you don't care where you sit, then that's fine. But
if you want to save $60 or whatever,
right? But if you're going on vacation,
you want to sit with
your significant other. So
absolutely,
yeah. I mean, I would imagine if you booked that and then, say it's a honeymoon couple,
and you weren't aware,
right?
Because you look at it, and that's the thing. A lot of the airlines, in my opinion, don't do a good job of fully explaining what it is. I mean, some of them do, right? But
whenever you book it, it comes up and it makes you accept the restrictions. But some people might just click past that.
Yeah.
Click really fast through it and not really read it.
Because these fares haven't been around long, so maybe the last time they traveled, they didn't exist. So I'll pick my seat.
Right. But I can only imagine the disappointment in a honeymoon couple who is jetting off after getting married, and they get to the airport and, the bride is in 13E and the groom's in 33E,
Middle seats.
So right, and not anywhere close together. So I never quote that because I don't.
We want our clients to sit together. Now it's an option. I mean, we'll start putting it in there, I think.
Yes.
Just to
as an option to save some money, but I don't recommend it. Another thing, and United and American used to have this, and now it's only United, but when you book the basic economy fare with United, if it is domestic or Mexico, Caribbean, Central America, you don't get a carry-on bag.
Ooh.
So then you're forced to check a bag. And then by the time you do that, then you should have just paid for the main cabin economy.
Yeah, because you're forced to check a bag.
Which is $30.
Or you have to pay extra for your carry-on, right?
No, you're not allowed
You're just not even allowed it? You can't even pay for it? Wow.
No. Wow. American used to also have that, but now it's only United where you are not allowed to bring a carry-on. So
it's really, I think it's the two things that I think of when I think of basic economy. It's really designed for if you almost like making a day trip where you don't need luggage. Right. And you don't care where you sit, and you're just trying to go as cheap as possible. Two, I think strategically airlines started doing this to be more competitive against each other.
Yes.
Because it said, I can make my fares look cheaper if I take away some of the amenities.
Right.
But I'm going to publish this as a rate.
Right.
So I get, you know what I mean? I just feel like it was almost a strategic thing from a sales standpoint to drive revenue. And, as long as you explain to people, hey, you're not getting X, Y, Z, you might get a cheaper rate, but it really kind of diminishes your travel experience, especially if you're traveling for vacation or with others,
Right. Another big thing with that all three of them have is no priority boarding, so you can't even pay for it, and you board in the last group.
Oh.
And then also, so if you're flying on American or Delta and you're boarding in the last group and you do have a carry-on bag, it's likely that there's not going to be any room left, so then you'll have to check it. And then a big thing is there's absolutely no changes allowed to your ticket whatsoever. So
you're
generally,
locked in.
Right. And so generally speaking, if you don't have travel insurance and like, let's say something comes up and you can't go on your trip, then you can cancel it and you can change it for a fee. Like the usual change fee is $200 plus any difference in fare. Well, with the basic economy, you can't even do that.
Wow.
You're just out the ticket and you can't use it or anything.
It's like a locked in rate. You're going.
Right.
You're either going or you're not.
And you're not getting any money
back. You're not getting any money back. Yeah.
And you can't even pay to change it.
Ooh.
So.
Yeah. So they really, you're going to get a small discount, but they really pigeonhole you to a very boxed in experience.
Right.
And that's why we never quote it. It's just like, I don't know. It just, we want the travel experience to be better. And I think if we do a lot of vacations, it just makes sense. You want to sit next to your significant other.
Oh, yeah. And another thing, too, is after you do that, you can't even pay to upgrade your fare. So,
you're burnt. You're stuck.
Yeah, you're stuck. So if you decide, I want to, I'll upgrade to main cabin economy so I can pick my seats, or I'll upgrade to Delta Comfort or something like that, or I want to upgrade to first class, they don't allow you to do it.
No, because they want to make sure they fill those middle seats.
Yep.
Near the bathroom, probably, too.
Yeah, probably near the lavatory.
So, yeah, this is just a quick episode on pretty much a travel tip to make sure if you're not going to book with a travel agent and you're not going to book Panic Travel, which, boo-hoo, we really hope you do. But if you don't, make sure you know what you're getting into when you're getting into your airfare and you're booking things separately, because we hear so many times people get burned by this and they're upset.
Oh, yeah.
They
and I
see
a lot. Like if you look there's a particular resort's website or resort brand. They're all inclusive, adults
Unnamed.
only in the Caribbean. Yes.
It's not Sandals.
No, it's not Sandals. But they only, with their packages, when you book online, it only is basic economy fare.
To make their rates look lower.
Yep.
So, and then once you're in,
Right.
so they got you. But it's like, you really got to read the fine print on some of these things, because you may think you're going to get this excellent experience, and then you show up to the airport and right off the rip, you're not even sitting next to each other. And you're sitting next to a stranger, and God forbid it's your honeymoon or an anniversary.
Yeah,
and
it's just not a good way to start.
You don't want that experience, and I've been in middle seats a lot, and as is you, because we travel a lot, because I travel a lot for work, and I used to, before I had my status, I would get stuck in the middle a lot, unfortunately, and no one wants to sit next to strangers in the middle.
No, and again,
sucks.
if you're traveling by yourself, and then you might not care where you sit, and that's fine. But if you're traveling with your significant other or some family, which that's another thing. Yeah, if you're traveling with kids and you book a basic economy fare, usually the flight attendants will do what they can to, at least
accommodate it.
The kids aren't sitting by themselves. But
you're almost,
it's going to be hard to get you together. So you don't want to book basic economy.
Yeah. Unless you really know you're by yourself.
Unless you're by yourself, then, whatever.
And you don't need luggage. Like, say you're, they're there for a reason. I guess people do book them, but I really think it's a competitive advantage they try to use against each other to try to lower their rates. And it sounds like some resorts out there are actually using that to combat packages against other properties.
They are.
Which is dangerous.
And I don't like them for that.
Yeah, we're not going to, we never talk bad about anybody, but
No.
if you're going to book online, do your thing, that's fine, but just
make sure, because it'll usually be like just very small where it says like restrictions apply.
Restrictions apply.
And, well, that's those restrictions. So
it's the old saying in travel, you always get what you pay for.
You always get what you pay for.
You always get that. I think Travelocity and a lot of these like major or huge online agencies or online booking things have made this perception, that somewhat false perception, that you can get these big deals and deals here, deals there. We're going to get you to this all-inclusive for $200 a night. We're going to do this. But when you really peel back the layers, it's like,
what are you really getting?
What are you really getting, And
Yeah.
I think anyone can make anything look like whatever, but you really got to know what you're getting into.
Yeah. Just if you see something where it says restrictions apply, go and look and see what the restrictions are.
Yeah. So this is your 10-minute travel tip by Penhack Travel. If you're going to book an airline on your own, make sure, if you're going cheap, make sure you know what you're booking. There's a difference between basic economy
and then regular economy.
And regular economy.
Yep.
They're not the same.
They are not the same.
Or just call your friendly travel agent at Penhack Travel.
There you go.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for listening. That's the 10-minute. This is a new episode, 10-minute travel tip
There you go.
by Penhack Travel.
Yep. Thanks for listening.
Love you guys.